Created by a kid and their parent, using Talebot.
Fabian's Journey, Courage in the Village of Whispers. A special bedtime story for Fabian. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling green hills and crystal-clear streams, there lived a young boy named Fabian. Fabian was much like any other child in the village, with a heart full of dreams and a spirit eager for adventure. However, Fabian was also very special because he carried within him an unwavering courage and a kind heart that shone brightly, even on the rainiest of days. One bright and sunny morning, Fabian decided to embark on an adventure through the village. He waved goodbye to his parents, slung his little backpack over his shoulder, and set out with a skip in his step. The village was a hive of activity, with people bustling about, tending to their gardens, and chatting with their neighbors. Fabian greeted everyone he met with a cheerful, "Good morning," spreading smiles wherever he went. As Fabian wandered through the village, he came across a narrow path he had never noticed before. Curiosity piqued, he decided to see where it led. The path wound through a dense thicket of trees and emerged into a clearing where the sun danced upon wildflowers of every color. It was a hidden paradise, a secret garden in the heart of the village. However, Fabian's joy was short-lived. From the shadows stepped Brandon, a boy from the village known for his mean spirit and harsh words. Brandon sneered at Fabian and began to insult him, mocking him for his small size and dreaming of adventures. Fabian felt a sting in his heart. The words hurt, and for a moment, he wished he had never ventured out. But then, he remembered the words of his mother, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." Fabian straightened his back, lifted his chin, and faced Brandon with a calmness that surprised even himself. "Brandon," Fabian said, his voice steady, "words can only hurt me if I let them. I choose not to let them." Brandon was taken aback. He had expected Fabian to crumble, to run away crying. But here he stood, unwavering and strong. Something shifted within Brandon, a flicker of respect for Fabian's strength. Embarrassed and unsure, Brandon muttered a half-hearted apology and hastily left the clearing.
Talebot, tailor-made tales for your child's dreams.
Fabian watched him go, feeling a mix of relief and sadness. He wished he could have befriended Brandon, showed him that kindness and courage were far more powerful than insults and meanness. Determined not to let the encounter ruin his day, Fabian explored the secret garden, marveling at its beauty. He discovered a small pond teeming with fish, a grove of fruit trees laden with ripe apples and pears, and a family of rabbits that watched him curiously from a distance. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Fabian knew it was time to head home. He made his way back through the village, his heart light and his spirit undiminished by the day's events. Upon reaching home, Fabian recounted his adventure to his parents, leaving out no detail, including his encounter with Brandon. His parents listened intently, pride shining in their eyes at their son's courage and wisdom. "Fabian," his father said, clasping his shoulder, "today, you showed true bravery. You stood strong in the face of unkindness, and you chose to respond with dignity. That is the mark of a true hero." That night, as Fabian lay in bed, the events of the day replayed in his mind. He realized that courage wasn't just about facing danger on adventures, it was also about standing up for oneself and choosing kindness over retaliation. In the days that followed, Fabian's act of courage became the talk of the village. Even Brandon, who had once scorned him, began to see Fabian in a new light. Slowly, the two boys found common ground, and a tentative friendship blossomed between them. Fabian's journey had taught him an invaluable lesson, that strength lies not in fists or harsh words but in the courage to be kind, even when others are not. And so, in the village of Whispers, Fabian became known not just as an adventurous boy but as a beacon of courage and kindness, inspiring all who knew him to embrace the same virtues. And as the moon rose high in the night sky, casting a soft glow over the village, Fabian drifted into a peaceful sleep, his dreams filled with new adventures and the promise of bright tomorrows. The end.
Created by a kid and their parent using Talebot. Click the link in the video description to create your own story.